tal? Espero que estéis muy bien, sed muy bienvenidos de nuevo a Nube de Palabras. Hoy, como veis por el título, os traigo la entrevista, por así decirlo, que hice con Leigh Bardugo. Estoy súper contenta de haber podido tener ese ratito para hablar con ella. La entrevista es cierto que no salió como yo esperaba porque tenía muchas preguntas, ella se puso a hablar un montón, entonces bueno, se nos escuadró un poco el tiempo, así que el resultado final no es exactamente lo que yo esperaba o quería hacer, pero bueno, aún así espero que lo disfrutéis un montón. Para mí fue un placer y un honor hablar con ella, así que nada, muchas gracias a la editorial Hydra por invitarme a entrevistarla y hablar con ella. Pues espero que vosotros también lo disfrutéis. Todo está en inglés con subtítulos en español y bueno, cualquier cosa pues la podéis dejar en los comentarios. Espero que os guste un montón.
Capitán.
I bet you are having such tiring days.
It's okay. I'm good. No decías. Hola, nubecillas.
Okay, great. I'm just getting nervous. Don't be nervous.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much for joining this conversation. I want to be it to be a conversation
Yes.
more than interview.
Good.
I know you are on tour.
Yes.
So maybe you are so tired, but I would like to ask you, what have you enjoyed so far from this tour?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been on the road so long. Like, this is our 5th week touring. I love meeting my readers. It's always interesting to hear what people say in every different country. I don't really have a favorite place I've been. Every place we've been has been really exceptional. Although something that was really special that we did was when we were in the United States, we did a sort of spontaneous meetup in New Haven where Ninth House is set. And I didn't think anybody would come. I kind of thought it's a Sunday, people will just want to stay in bed. But we had like 200 people come to this museum, and it's one of the settings in the book. And some people went around with the map from the book to find all the places in the story. And it was just like the most joyful, happy day. It was just incredible.
I want to ask you, because I want my viewers, my little clouds, get to know you a little bit. So I want to ask you like some fast questions.
Okay.
And you answer like with short answers.
I'll try. Favorite food?
Sí, yes.
It's something called tara masalata. It's a Greek food.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
Can I pick a couple? Okay, Strictly Ballroom it was one of Baz Luhrmann's first movies, one of my favorite movies of all time. The Untouchables, which is a mob movie that inspired Six of Crows a lot. Probably Romancing the Stone is one of my favorite romantic comedies.
Animal?
So hard. I love all animals. It's not a phoenix.
No?
I feel like a phoenix would be really hard to cuddle. Like you'd be like, ah! It's a toss-up. I just said cuddle, but it's probably a toss-up between a snake, which I know is not cuddly, but is very powerful, or a bear, like a little bear.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's more like you can cute.
Yes,
A
and then
bear,
when it gets
snake.
big, it will destroy you.
Okay, and what's your favorite book?
How can you ask that? What's your favorite book? Six of Crows.
What did you ask that?
I don't have a favorite book. I have books that have been really important to me at different times in my life. Growing up, A Swiftly Tilting Planet was really important to me. The first 3 books of A Song of Ice and Fire were really important to me. Dune by Frank Herbert, Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones, one of my favorite books of all time.
Do you like the movie for that?
I love it, but it's so different. I think of them as completely different things. I think it's beautiful and wonderful, but it's important to me that people also read the book.
Okay, what's your favorite tale from your childhood? Maybe something that inspired you to write your fantasy.
So when I was a kid, my favorite was The Princess and the Pea. You have that one? But I think for me, like, I loved that story, but I think the stories that really haunted me when I was a kid were stories like Rumpelstiltskin or Hansel and Gretel, where at the end of the story they go back to their father, who was willing to let their evil stepmother send them into the woods not once but twice. For me, those stories were very disturbing when I was a kid, and I understood that we were supposed to ignore that feeling of unease, but I think for me, writing fairy tales and writing The Language of Thorns was very much going back into those feelings.
You cannot live without?
I can't live without my laptop. I really can't. I couldn't live without my headphones. I have these really great noise canceling headphones that I use whenever I write and whenever I travel.
And if you were, like put in a desert island and you could only bring 3 things.
Oh. If I bring my laptop, is it just gonna die? And I would bring a satellite phone and a boat and a tarp. Like, I want to
Just
live.
to live.
That's right.
That's the answer. I mean, okay. Now, since my time is about books, writing, reading, and all that, I want to ask you a few things about, you know, books and writing and all these things. We know that at least here in Spain, I think it's really hard to make a living of something artistic, such as writing, for example. The beginning can be tough. Sometimes maybe you get a lot of no answers from producers or whatever. I think it's important when you have a dream, you really have to get attached to it, fight for it, and do all your work, as you said before. So I want to ask you, what kept you, what made you keep on track?
Look, I think this is a complicated question, and it's something that really bothers me in kind of the narratives that have taken over what it means to be a successful artist, right? Okay. We live in a culture that does not reward aspiring artists, okay? When you meet somebody who's writing a book, you think, oh, well, good for you. The questions we ask are the wrong questions. Is, have you been published? Oh, if you're an actor, you know, what would I have seen you in? It's never, what kind of roles do you want to play, or what kind of stories do you want to tell? So we don't tend to value people on their way up. We only value them once they've arrived and once they have certain markers of success. I think the thing to remember is that the battle of the artist is to make art when nobody is looking and when nobody cares. And it's a very painful thing. But enduring that pain and continuing to do the work will serve you well, because guess what? Once you publish a book, a lot of people are going to have nasty things to say about it, along with all the nice things. And you're going to have comfort with and calmness with the idea of other people being brought into the circle of your work. And even if you're successful, there's always another level of success you can get to. So really embracing the idea of why you're in this and why the story matters to you, and to always be working on more than one thing. A bad habit we have of thinking, this is the book, right? This is the one book that I have in me, and if it isn't a success, then that's it, we're done. You cannot think that way. When you go out with that first novel, trying to get an agent or trying to find a publisher, what you should be doing is working on something else at the same time. While you're working on that story, you should be taking notes of other ideas and the next thing you want to do. Because even if that first one doesn't sell and you don't make it, or it does sell and it's not that successful, the next thing is what matters, and the next thing and the next thing. Receive rejections early on. It's very hard not to take it personally, right? It's important to remember that there are so many factors that go into it. Can be that the editor loved it, but they have another book that's similar to it, or that they loved it, but they couldn't convince other people to love it. It might not be the right moment in the marketplace for that story. But guess what? If you don't find an agent or an editor with that first story, the first question they're going to ask you when you finally do sell a book is, what else do you have? And you, unlike me, are going to be like, I have this, and I have this. And then the moments for those stories will come. Cállate!
You know more Spanish than I thought. Since we are running out of time, I want to ask you something that it's fun, but it's going to be difficult for you.
Okay, all right.
So, if you could choose 3 characters from your Grisabel, who will you kiss, who will you marry, and who would you...
Gross. All right, I would kiss Tolia. Everybody forgets about Tolia, but he is a very handsome fellow and he can quote poetry. I would marry Nikolai because then I would be rich. I can kill anyone in the Grishaverse?
Don't say Cass.
Why would I kill Kaz?
Okay.
Kaz and I get along very well.
Okay.
I can kill anyone in the Grishaverse, but it doesn't have to be somebody people like. Like I could kill the former king of Ravka. Like, I'll kill him, he's horrible. Okay. Or I could kill Jan Van Eyck, Pekka Rollins. Pekka Rollins has to suffer.
So, okay, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
And I wanted to ask you more questions.
Do we have more time?
No.
Do we have? No. Okay. Thank you for reading my books.
Okay.
Goodbye, little clouds.
Visto toda la entrevista, muchísimas gracias, espero que os haya gustado un montón. Os recuerdo que podéis seguirme en el resto de mis redes sociales, que tenéis abajo todos los links, y también, bueno, pues os dejo por aquí algunos vídeos por si queréis ver más contenido del canal, en especial una reseña que hice de 6 de cuervos ya hace tiempo, y aquí también os dejaré el globito para que os suscribáis al canal si todavía no lo habéis hecho. Podéis activar la campanita, suscribiros y darle a like al vídeo si os ha gustado. Y nada, nos vemos dentro de poco en un nuevo vídeo. ¡Chao!